Have you ever questioned what your darkest thoughts might say about you? Sigmund Freud, often called the father of psychoanalysis, believed these hidden shadows reveal more about us than we might want to know. Unexpressed emotions will never die, Freud once said. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. This statement reflects his belief that unresolved feelings lie dormant within us, only to re-emerge in ways that can disrupt our lives. Today, let's take a bold step into these shadows and explore what they mean for our inner journey. Freud's work introduced us to the concept of the inner shadow, a part of our psyche that holds desires, fears, and unresolved conflicts we often ignore. But why look into this part of ourselves? Because as Freud observed, the ego is not master in its own house. This quote underscores a profound idea. We are often strangers to ourselves, driven by forces that lie beyond our conscious understanding. Our conscious mind may think it's in control, but beneath it, the shadow quietly influences our actions, thoughts, and reactions in ways we rarely notice. Recognizing this shadow is the first step to becoming more integrated and self-aware. But here lies the struggle. Facing the darker side of ourselves is difficult and often avoided. Freud argued, most people do not really want freedom because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. What do you think? Does freedom scare you because of the responsibility it brings? If you find this perspective insightful, give this video a like and subscribe to Quotes with Benefits for more thought-provoking content. This observation challenges us to consider how confronting our shadows requires courage, the courage to take responsibility for our own inner darkness. Facing this aspect of ourselves might mean acknowledging our fears, our insecurities, even the envy or anger we carry, but prefer to deny. For many, this responsibility is daunting, leading them to avoid introspection and, in turn, leaving their shadows unaddressed. Freud's insights delve even deeper into the human psyche. Take his quote, "One day in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful." Struggles, he suggests, are not only inevitable, but necessary for growth and transformation. It's often in our darkest moments that we confront our true selves, forced to wrestle with emotions we'd rather avoid. Do you agree that struggles, in the end, can become something beautiful? If this idea resonates with you, hit like and subscribe to Quotes with Benefits for more insights. Then there's his quote, "We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love." Here, Freud uncovers a paradox. Love, which seems so fulfilling, exposes us to our deepest vulnerabilities. This rawness brings forth aspects of our shadow we may never have encountered otherwise. Jealousy, fear of abandonment, even desperation. But as Freud believed, out of your vulnerabilities will come your strength. These vulnerabilities, once acknowledged, can become sources of resilience, transforming the shadows into stepping stones toward self-awareness. Freud's theory of the unconscious brings us to the idea of the iceberg. As he famously noted, the mind is like an iceberg. It floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water. This image reveals the hidden depths of our mind, with the conscious mind merely the tip, while the unconscious holds our repressed desires and forgotten memories. He prompts us to ask, where does a thought go when it's forgotten? For Freud, nothing is truly forgotten. Instead, these buried thoughts shape our actions in ways that feel instinctual, but are in fact deeply rooted in the unconscious. Freud also regarded dreams as the royal road to the unconscious. Through dreams, we access parts of the shadow self we cannot consciously reach, revealing aspects of our psyche that we suppress during the day. He urged, being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise, emphasizing that true self-awareness comes only when we confront these hidden corners without flinching. To Freud, facing our shadow wasn't about fear or judgment, but about honesty and a commitment to personal truth. What does it mean to embrace the shadow? It's about coming to terms with the parts of ourselves that we fear might define us, accepting our repressed feelings, our contradictions, and even our flaws. As Freud powerfully stated, unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. By facing these emotions, we prevent them from taking control in ways that are damaging or self-destructive. The shadow, then, isn't a threat. It's an opportunity to grow beyond the limitations we impose on ourselves. Freud teaches us that to truly know ourselves, we must look into the darkness within. Only by facing our inner shadows can we uncover our deepest truths and transform our vulnerabilities into strength. When we approach these parts of ourselves with curiosity rather than fear, we gain a more complete understanding of who we are and who we can become. If Freud's ideas about the shadow and self-awareness resonate with you, share your thoughts in the comments. Which parts of your shadow have you discovered, and how have they shaped you? Don't forget to subscribe to Quotes with Benefits and check out our next video, where we continue exploring self-discovery and personal growth. Join us on this journey into the depths of the mind and the secrets we keep within.